As Hurricane Dorian approaches, transportation officials have been left guessing due to the storm's uncertain path. Some Florida airports have decided to shut down operations ahead of the storm. You can see here where they are staying open and where others are closing. Airports like Daytona Beach International and also cautioned passengers that while it is staying open, it is, quote, not a shelter. Miami International Airport is the only major airport staying open in South Florida. It says that's because it's not in the cone of concern. All right, we are going to continue following this story. Okay, Leyla Santiago joins us live now from Fort Pierce, right on the coast of Florida. So, Leyla, just set the scene where you are.
Right, I'm actually going to walk you through the last probably 20 minutes. There was sunshine, much like you see right now, and then about 15 minutes ago, we had a downpour. That could be an indication of what's to come, right? As Hurricane Dorian gets closer and closer. We are in Fort Pierce, which is in St. Lucie County, and you can see that there is a bit of wind, apologies, just in the trees. And I also, and this might surprise you, but we also have in some of these boats, there are actually still people inside some of these boats. Now, officials here are really stressing a sense of urgency. They have mandatory evacuations for all the barrier islands here, and as a result, they have opened 5 shelters. At last check, the county administrator said that there were about 500 people in those shelters. As you mentioned earlier, some of the airports around here have also closed down. The Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport shut down, as well as the Orlando, Melbourne, and the West Palm Beach Airport also shutting down. The big concern here, according to authorities, this is an area that is under a hurricane warning, a tropical storm warning, as well as storm surge warning. There is likely to be a lot of flooding here, and the administrator also said he guarantees there will be beach erosion as a result of Dorian. Now, as we have spoken to people who were looking out, checking to see how things are going, much like I see right now, a lot of people are just not really sure what to trust with this hurricane because it has been so erratic, going one way one minute, another way the next minute, speeding up, slowing down. So as I've talked to people, there are some folks who are making plans to head out, have already made plans, have already left and are at those shelters. And then there are some who say, look, we go through this all the time. We're just going to make sure we're prepared and we're staying in our homes. Zayn?
And Leyla, how hard is it to prepare, just given the level of uncertainty surrounding the storm and its path, speed, direction?
Right. Right. Well, in terms of preparations, I will say that in this area, we have been to a few of the storms, to a few of the stores, and they seem to be pretty well stocked. But it's just monitoring this storm and tracking it that has really been difficult. And I'll use our team as an example. I mean, we started in Cocoa Beach, then we went down to Miami, then we went up to Charleston, and now we're back here in Fort Pierce. It just has been so unpredictable and erratic for meteorologists to predict, and much less the average Joe that's just trying to make sure that they are safe, their family's safe, and their property is safe.
And who are the most vulnerable, do you think?
Right. Well, actually, according to the studies, it is older men. If you look at the research that was done after Hurricane Katrina, and you look at the research that came after Hurricane Maria, when the government commissioned a study of the deaths there, as you know, something our team investigated as well, typically the most vulnerable during a hurricane are older men. And so that's why you see a lot of the officials really targeting nursing homes, elderly communities, and trying to make sure that the most vulnerable are taken care of to prevent any tragedies.